When I was a kid, my family never stayed in one place long. We moved from state to state, settling in Rhode Island when I was 8. But I still remember a time, when I was 5, that I lived in a strange house in New Vineyard, Maine. I was sick with mono, stuck in bed while my parents packed our things for a move to Pennsylvania. That's when I met him, Mr. Widemouth. He appeared in my room one afternoon, a creature with a large mouth, big eyes, and an odd way of speaking. He told me to call him Mr. Widemouth because of his mouth. At first, I thought he was just a weird figment of my fevered imagination. But when my mom came to check on me, he'd vanish under the bed, only to return when she left. I don't want her to see me, he explained. We have to keep it a secret. Days passed, and Mr. Widemouth kept me company. He'd flip through my books, fascinated by the pictures. Then one day, he came to me with a smile. I have a new game, he said. We can play it after your mom checks on you. Once she left, Mr. Widemouth pulled me down the hall to an empty room. He opened the window and pointed out. I pretend there's a trampoline below, and I jump. If you imagine hard enough, you'll bounce back up. I hesitated. The drop was long, but Mr. Widemouth was persistent. It's the fun part. Try it. I backed away, feeling a chill. I don't think I want to. His face twisted in disappointment, but he didn't argue. He slunk under the bed and stayed silent for the rest of the day. The next morning, he came with a box. Inside were knives. I'll teach you how to juggle, he said with excitement. Panic set in. No, my parents will kill me, I screamed, shoving the box away. I can't touch those. Double quotes. Mr. Widemouth's face darkened. He slid back under the bed, and I couldn't shake the feeling that something was wrong. Night after night, he woke me, whispering about the trampoline again, urging me to jump. I couldn't sleep. I couldn't think straight. I wanted him to go away. Then one day, my mom told me I could go outside. I was desperate to get out of that room, but Mr. Widemouth was waiting for me. I have something to show you, he said, his voice dark and enticing. He led me to the woods behind the house, to a deer trail. This is where I take my friends when they're ready, he said, his eyes gleaming. You're not ready yet, but soon. I didn't know what to make of it, but I felt unease creeping up my spine. Days later, my family was packing the last of our things for the move. I decided not to tell Mr. Widemouth. I couldn't shake the feeling that whatever he was planning wasn't something I wanted to be a part of. As we drove away, I saw him in the window, watching us go. He waved with a sad smile, a steak knife in his hand. I didn't wave back. Years passed, and I returned to New Vineyard. The house was gone, burned to the ground after we left. Curiosity led me back to the deer trail, but instead of a hidden place or Mr. Widemouth, the path ended at the town cemetery. I noticed the gravestones, many were children's names, and I knew Mr. Widemouth had taken them all.
What was I gonna do next?